Today I am showing off the Terraforming Mars Solo Challenge, a luck-driven but nevertheless interesting game that I win less than half the time, but which I always find entertaining. It's a quick play. It is card-driven and turn-based, so there is no pressure on you. And we are going to do the vanilla solo challenge. I received this game free on Epic Games some time ago. The first thing that happens is you choose your corporation. There are about 14 or so possible corporations, but you only get to choose from 2. Tharsis is one of my favorite. It is not the easiest, but it might be about the 3rd easiest out of 14. Your cities are subsidized, and you are a rebel choosing not to be controlled by corporations. Of course, you've formed a corporation for your rebellion, so that's a little bit confusing. And you're here settling Mars. So then we get 10 cards to choose from. Each card we purchase costs 3. This one, for example, gives us 1 heat per turn. It will cost an additional 3 to play. The 1 heat per turn I would almost never buy except at the start of the game. This greater than or equal to negative 24 centigrade means that we can't play this until we get the heat up. And we will get our natural preserve, which means we can only play it when the atmosphere is less than 4%. We have placed our first city. I will also place the micro mills. Down here we have gold, steel, titanium, food, energy, and heat. We are now generating 1 heat per turn, and placing the nature reserve over here will give us 1 food and will add to our money generation. At the beginning of the game you want to generate resources, and towards the end of the game you want to get one-time shots. So in addition to generating heat and money, I paid 11 to generate 1 energy, and I saved up the next 11. Normally I think of my strategy in terms of a card budget, but I don't actually have any specific card I want to play here, so that's not relevant. This is interesting. The strip mine will require 2 energy just to play, and I've only got generating 1, and it will erase them, but it will give us 2 steel and 1 titanium per turn. The nitrogen-rich asteroid has a special benefit if we have played 3 green tags. So my next goal here is to prepare for the strip mine next turn. Now the strip mine costs 25, and we will have 30, so our card budget will be 1, because if we bought 2 we would have 24. Notice that energy is available for a turn, and then it gets transformed into heat. This is quite valuable for the Tharsis Republic. The Tharsis Republic wants to pay to build cities. Cities require energy, and so we will generate the energy. The magnetic field dome can be useful, but it takes 2 energy, and I am not ready to spend that energy. So for this turn, we will build the strip mine. Notice we also get 2 oxygen. The goal of this game is to get all 3 of these parameters to the top. To place 9 oceans, to get the oxygen percentage to 14%, and to get the temperature to reach 8 degrees centigrade. The heat is in many ways is the largest challenge, but that doesn't mean it is the most difficult. There are many ways of raising heat. It can be harder to raise other things. And in fact, we have a very heat-centric card draw right now. So we will take our free power plant. We use 2 steel to build it, so it costs 0. And we get the achievement, it's a steel for building something at a cost of 0. That means we have 2 cards that we want to play, both of which cost 13. But this one has the house on it, so that means that we can use steel to make it cheaper next turn. So I will use the lunar beam this turn, which takes our money generation back down to 2, but gives us 2 energy and 2 heat. For every 8 heat, we can raise the heat bar by 1, and for every 8 plants, we can raise the oxygen by 1. At minus 24, we can start generating plants. Right now, we are generating in every category except plants. This ocean would normally cost 18, so it costs 11 plus 3 is 14. So that's a deal. This game is so finely balanced that misjudging spending by just a little bit can make the difference between success and failure. So there we are. We are only going to have 7 energy next turn, which is too bad. Our tags, we have not generated any green tags. We want to have 3 green tags before we import nitrogen. One of the nice aspects of this game is the random card draw for each turn makes it infinitely replayable. Now, for this plantation, we would be able to use it if we have 2 science tags. We have 1 science tag, and we have no science tags in our hand. I am not going to buy it. The trees are extremely powerful, but we can only play them when the temperature is at minus 4 degrees centigrade and the game is nearly over. So I am going to place the subterranean reservoir, and I am going to use a standard project. Greenery costs 23, aquifer costs 18, asteroid raising heat costs 4, and the power plant costs 1. We are going to raise heat by 1 at a cost of 14, and we hit this first bonus step, which increases our heat generation from 3 to 4. Now we get the next card draw, and we get here, I said that we wanted generation. We will get plants and heat. We don't have anything that needs microbes, but this is a very good card to get early on. We also get another heat here. Notice that this would add up to 15 next turn, but we will play this generation to get it up to 3 heat. At 3 heat, we get 7 heat per turn and 1 food. In addition, because we are over negative 24 degrees, we can play the lichen, and that's our first green tag. We already got plant generation, but this card did not have a green tag on it. This card does. We need 2 more green tags before we play the nitrogen-rich asteroid. Now that we are over 16 in our heat, we will generate 2 heat this turn, and we will get past our next addition. Our towns are subsidized. It was always good to pick up a town. So we will do that. I want to place it here, and I want to have the two oceans down before I place it, because I will get extra money if those ocean tags are down before the city is. I do not get that money if I place the ocean tags afterwards. Placing an ocean there gave us 2 plants, which gives us another oxygen point. I could buy this now. Notice it does give me -2 victory points, but I will hold off. At the end of the game, cities give you victory points based on the quantity of greenery around them. So here, this computer-placed greenery will count for 1 victory point. Let's see if we get any oceans. We did not. Our card draws are adding up. We might as well buy the Rad Chem Factory because we can play it for free. It gives us 2 terraform, which adds to our income. We are a little bit behind where I would normally like to be, but hopefully we will start catching up. Now we place the second ocean tag, which means we can now place our corporate headquarters. I think there should be an extra negative for having a corporate headquarters if you are the Tharsis rebels who hate corporations, but just my opinion. And we get another, and because our town is subsidized, we got 3 gold and 1 income just for placing a town, and additional -1 energy and 3 income for placing this particular town. Now we place greenery here, and we get an additional 4 megabucks, and I will place another ocean. All the way up here we get a free ocean. When the greenery gets up to here, we get a free heat. So I am keeping an eye on that. I don't want to place much more than 4 ocean. Also note, when I placed an ocean here, I didn't get any benefits from my nature reserve. If I had placed the nature reserve now, it would have given me coins for being next to an ocean. This is fantastic, and this is a green, so these are both very good. We do not yet get to place our second green tag, but we will be able to increase our plant generation by playing that card, which gave us 2 victory points as well as 2 heat and 2 plants. I will increase the heat, even though doing so won't allow me to play the card because the card costs 10. I have 1 energy tag down, I have 1 energy tag in my hand, and I just want to get 1 more green card. But we are running out of time, and there is our 3rd green card, which is great. I like putting it here. I would try to put a city next to it. 1, 2, 3, 4. This gives us, we place greenery in the ocean. It increases our oxygen and also our money generation. We will place another greenery here. although we could place it there. It might be better there. That's worth 2 green. That one was only worth 1. I will increase our energy by 1. We're now up to -8. We play the bushes. We're generating 6 per turn. We have 7. I do not think it is worth playing an asteroid. So we will go on to the next turn. We held some money. We've got a lot of money in our hand right now. I would like to place a city there eventually. The lake is good. The mining rights at this point are not great, and that heat generation will be useful. In fact, that card may generate enough steel to enable us let's do this though. That will give us 4 plant generation. And look at this. We actually have 31 left over, which will be enough to purchase that. It can go here. If I would usually place that there, but if I want to place the city down, and yes, we have just enough to place that on an area reserved for ocean, not reserved for ocean, so we will place it here, gaining all of that extra coin. And then we have almost finished the heat line, and in fact we would, if we had purchased the trees card, we would be able to play it now. Now we are suddenly in very good shape. We are focusing on generating oxygen and oceans. We are changing the planet for the better. The Tharsis Republic is confident of success, but success is not guaranteed. That is a very useful card because it gives us an ocean square and some plants. So let's play that here. Now we're up to 6 ocean, and we have 16 plants. So let's place a city here. Now we're up to 18 plants. By the way, we are going to complete the heat goal once you let me. And we're doing well on the path towards our oxygen goal, but the oxygen goal may be the hardest one to complete, even though we are generating 10 plants per turn. So if we start with 15, we would get to 2, but that would require us to have 46. So let's see. We will place an ocean here where we get 2 free cards. This is incredibly random, but if we don't like them, we can sell them. Interesting, we cannot play that one because we have too much oxygen, but we can play this one. So the question is, should we play farming or should we purchase our oxygen, our plant? I think we will play the farming. Not necessarily, it is not the safest course, but I do think it is the best course. And now, turn 14 is the final turn of this game. We have a lot of riches. Usually, as the Tharsis Republic, you do end up with a lot of money. We would love to get an ocean, but none of these are useful. The mining expedition will give us an oxygen, so we will take that. We will play these cards here because each one is giving us some green and they are generating money based on adjacency to ocean. We will increase the oxygen by 1 by playing the mining expedition. We will increase oxygen again. Oops. We will increase oxygen again by purchasing some greenery. And that means we have one more ocean to place. And will we have enough money to purchase one more city? Probably. Yes, indeed. So, cities generate 1 victory point per greenery adjacent. If I buy a city here, it will have 2 adjacent. And I can't actually do better than that. So I will do that. I will have, that one has 4 adjacent, that has 3, that has 2, that has 3. And then in the interturn, we will actually have 19 plants. So we will be able to add 2 more. It gives you this extra turn. The extra plants cannot be used to fulfill victory conditions, but they do add to your score. So we have surrounded our first city with greenery. We are no longer a red planet. We are a green planet. We reached a terraforming level of 60. We had 14 points from greenery next to cities, and then in summary, yes, we win. And in further summary, this is how we got our points. 13 greenery, 14 city, 4 victory points, and 60 from terraforming. I did not point out that some of the cards we played increased our terraforming rating. We purchased an 8-point card that increased our terraforming rating by 2, and another card also increased our terraforming rating by 2. Usually you end up with a terraforming rating of 60. Now, I like to win, but I also imagine in my head levels of victory, and I figure if you get higher than 90 points, you are a success. Higher 85, you are mostly independent. But we have the Tharsis Republic, a corporation founded to free the workers from corporations, has succeeded in terraforming Mars. The people are happy. You can have other corporations, including Brad's corporation. He's a very rich guy who wants to terraform Mars by himself. There are a variety of challenges based on the special abilities of your corporation. There are enough corporations that I find this game infinitely replayable. I hope you enjoy it as much as I do.